Let me. Yeah, Miss Teresa.
Yes.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, can you say hi to her? Can you say hi to her? Yeah. Your name. You can tell him. This one here. See. That's her. Yeah, can say hi to her. Tell her name. Tell her your name.
Oh, my name, I'm Kirsten.
Evan,
James,
Sarah.
Yeah.
Nice to see you.
Okay. So Miss Teresa, would you like to introduce yourself briefly?
Yeah.
How long have you learned Buddhism, and how many temples have you went to, and so forth, please?
Yes. So I'm Teresa Taylor, Tien Nam, and I have gone to a couple of temples, and I've been practicing Buddhism for about 15 years.
Tịnh niệm, tịnh is purity, niệm is mean mindfulness. So you can translate mindful purity or pure mindfulness, either one. Yeah. You understand, right? You understand your Buddhist name, right? Is that?
Yes.
Did they explain to you who did
Yes.
that Buddhist name?
Yes.
Who?
Who gave me?
Uh-huh.
Master Chi Chern from
Where?
Malaysia.
From Malaysia. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Okay. So let's just move on. So usually, we study together based on the book Buddhism, the illustrated guide that I use that book to teach my college student. So every day we read paragraph by paragraph. We take turn to read paragraph by paragraph, and after that we have discussion. So this
Okay.
is format then. Okay. Yeah. So I hope Nathan, you can join in, right, Nathan? So we cannot hear you. I cannot see you, Nathan. Oh. Go ahead, Nathan. Can you hear? We have not heard you yet, Nathan. We have not seen you yet. Nathan, he's in St. Louis. Okay. So, Miss Teresa, you know Mr. Okay. So you know Mr. Stephen White 70 years, several years.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. Last week I supposed to give her an email for the Zoom link, but somehow I forgot. So that's why I put it first before today. So I can remember. All right, let's move on then. Let's see here. Yeah, so this is the charge. Let's see here. So these are the charge. Let me enlarge this.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, we can hear you. You might turn on cam.
The camera's, I can't get the camera working, so, and apparently the mic wasn't working either.
Okay. All right, yeah, welcome back then. So this Sunday we have Amitabha Buddha celebration. Will you come down? Or are you busy with your family down there?
I won't be able to come this Sunday, but I'm thinking next Sunday maybe.
Yeah, but actually next Sunday we don't have. Next week we have the practice, right? One day, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we recite Buddha name, Amitabha Buddha name for communities. We told you last time, right?
Yes.
Tuesday, Thursday, and then Saturday we have meditation. Yeah, so we alternate. Yeah, you
Okay.
Okay. So anyway, here the charge. That's where Mahayana Buddhism spread, right? From India, you can see that to to even Afghanistan, Pakistan, Mongolia, Korea, and so forth. So those are the charge. That where Buddhism, Mahayana Buddhism spread to. Yeah. Okay. Let's see here. All right. Last time we stopped here, but sixth perfection. Yeah. What's your name? I forgot.
Oh, James.
James? Yeah, would you mind to read? Too small for you? It's okay. We'll try. Good now? It's better now? Yeah, please. Yeah, the top paragraph here. Please.
New path was defined in various ways, but most commonly that was encouraged to cultivate the six perfections: generosity, morality, patience, meditation, and wisdom. At times this list was expanded to 10, each perfection described as with one of 10 stages of spiritual attainment. But enjoy so.
Yeah, that's enough. Yeah. You know what means? It's perfection now, right? You know when it's perfection? You know what I mean? No. Sam, you know what? Can you explain?
Like something that you are constantly trying to get better at, constantly perfecting. Like you know how like an artist is always working on their art, or like an athlete is always working on their physical performance. It's like something that you do all the time, trying to get better and better at it.
To perfect yourself.
Yeah, perfect it.
Loving kindness, generosity. I don't know. Loving kindness, generosity, compassion, mindfulness.
Yeah.
Wisdom.
Good for perfection.
How are your children?
Good.
Not too cold, right? So I think which day we have a little bit snow, right? When
Really
was that?
small amount, yeah.
Small. Is that probably on Monday, right?
Yeah, I think it was Monday.
Yeah. But we have the monk from Vietnam. Remember I told you? Yeah, he came here and he'll be here until Tuesday. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So the question that's been in Buddhist view, especially in high Buddhist view, that we do things unconditionally. We help other people unconditionally. That we can perfect our generosity, or even say when we practice what called patience. So how can we do practice patience in perfect way?
In a perfect way, or
In perfect way, yeah.
well, I was listening to Chogyam Trungpa. Actually, had a really interesting speech about disciplined patience, disciplined generosity. But anyways, how to perfect patience is that, yeah, you always have the foresight and the wisdom to wait out for the perfect timing. It doesn't mean that you endlessly wait, but it's that your wisdom, like
Wait for the opening.
You know that the correct timing will come when things are supposed to come through for like to fruition, rather than like, you have a mind element saying, oh well, I need to have something done by such and such time, and if that doesn't happen, I'm gonna get bent out of shape. It's like that you are
Nathan, what do you think, Nathan? How could you practice the patience in a perfect way?
In a what way?
In the perfect way. No.
Perfect.
Let's put this way. Sometimes we say, hey, my patience is limit. Remember that? Right? So how could we say, oh, I have unlimited patience? How?
I have super duper. So I do things like be ridiculously patient at counters. Like if somebody has their back turned to me, let's say they're playing on their cell phone or something like that, I won't like stop and interrupt them. I will just stand there and wait and look back of their head. And so when it's like inconsequential really if I'm able to wait or not. So for me, like if I make little choices like that, like I learn to just wait up. Yeah, I just learned to wait things out so that when like I'm in a really heightened state and it's really important, or I feel like it's really important, I've got that muscle that can like
That's the mental.
ride out the uncomfortableness of things not coming.
Yeah, and then we think most of the time we say, "Hey, remember, my patient is limit." So how could we explain that kind of patient in the unlimited way? And then what do you think?
My patience has been better when I get older, wiser. When I'm younger, I tend to be more impulsive, lack of control. I would say when I look now, lack of control of your feeling, awareness, your feelings. So now you pay attention, awareness of your feelings and how other feels, and that the awareness of it helped me to recognize the emotion that I make myself feel anxiety or feel that I need a rush, make other people to do things faster for me. So it's a me thing that because of other people are slow or people are not get on my way, or it's all about me. So if I'm aware of that emotions, and I see it, then I try to recognize it, and then when I recognize it, I tend to remind me to just let it go. Hey, it's okay, let it go.
So Kaylee,
try to not
that?
always the best.
I say to your parents, your children, or your student.
Oh, I said
right?
To my students, like, this is my patient.
So how could you explain that then?
Well, Kirsten read about practice, and it is practice, but then I try and pull from like loving kindness and try to understand, because I work with small children. It's like, why are you feeling this way? What's going on in this situation that we can fix or overcome or find a solution to, instead of me losing my patience? Let's find a way to work through it.
Yeah.
And that's a tough age group for that.
Yeah. How about you, Mr. Teresa? How could you explain that patient?
Well, I think what the gentleman said before was being mindful of other people. So I think mindfulness is one key. But for me, the other thing would be compassion. So whatever somebody else was doing that I was feeling impatient about, if I could increase my compassion for whatever their issue might be, that's like he said was irritating him, it's really about me. So if I have control over my own mind and my impatience, then that would my mindfulness about that would help me be able to increase my patience, I think.
How about Steven? How could we explain our patience? Yeah. How?
I have always been somewhat, even at a younger age, somewhat patient already. It just depending on the situation, and just like I was talking about earlier, to where as we age, I understand more and basically be mindful of the situation and understand that things happen for a reason, whether it's good or bad. I just take a step back, and as long as no one is being harmed in any way, that I just let it be and just move on. And instead of making like have it to where it bothers you. A lot of people keep on saying that, how one example would be just like, getting someplace fast. People's always in a hurry, driving, people cutting people off. Like this morning on the way to work, I got cut off at the very last minute. But I was like thinking, oh, he didn't hit me, I didn't hit him, he didn't hit any other cars, So I was like, just, let him go on. He's like, he must be really in a hurry to go to work. So we just, little stuff like that, I just let it be. And no big deal. I just go on my own merry way, and no one was harmed, and just more of the key is just being in control, and mindfulness is what's going to help out a lot. So, most of that.
And Ethan, what do you think? Work. It's really tough, right? Really tough to explain that patient, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially at work when you know it can be right and it sort of it's letting go of that expectation of what it should be and what it is. And that's that patience and being reminded of really helps and work that makes that of seeing it for what it is, not what I want it to.
Yeah. How about you, Nathan? How we can expand? How can we expand that patient then?
How can we spend the patience? I'm having a hard time hearing.
Expand our patient instead of saying patient is limit. Yeah.
I think that we have patience whenever we see what's going on in a situation clearly and we understand what our needs are in the moment. Like, I think impatience arises whenever we have a need that's not being met. We have a desire to get something done within ourselves, and we're not seeing what's going on inside ourselves, and we're not seeing what's going on in whatever the situation is that we're in. And when we clearly know what's going on inside ourselves and what we're needing, and we clearly know where we are and what's going on, then we know the steps to meet our needs, and then the need for impatience goes away, if that makes sense.
You have patience with your project, with your students too, right?
I was thinking I'm the opposite of mine. Like I feel I would get less patient.
Oh really? Oh, okay.
But with like at work with student stuff, I'm a lot more patient on a lot of things because I have perspective. And like I'll be dealing with a freshman freaking out because something's not right. They don't have the perspective to know that this is not right. Like it can wait till Monday. Like we don't have to worry. So sometimes it's that like maybe I'm impatient because I don't see it. I don't have all the information from that perspective. So it's kind of interesting to be on the other end of it. It's like the fact that as I get less patience.
Especially like Sam, you have a lot of patience with the children after school, right? Like they learn long, so they can talk and run around, so right?
Yeah, honestly, it's pretty easy with most of them, but a couple of them that you may have mentioned seem like I practice patience while they practice to see. It's like they're trying to see how much patience I have.
They test out your strength. Yeah, they test out your strength.
Like if my patience is here, they're like, we've got to get past that.
They know, right? They challenge your patience.
It's like they, on purpose, it seems sometimes.
Yeah. How about you? What do you think?
I think I've noticed lately is just presence. You know, just know where you are. You know, if I go to work in the morning, I see people around me going all fast and stuff. I know where I'm going. I'm in no rush to death. I'm just doing.
Yeah.
And that's it. If I walk, I walk. I sleep, go to work. If there's a problem, I'll make adaptation. Because no in my life is like something will happen to that. I'm in control. But also, if you're president, it's a little different. I've done a lot of inner work, but I've sort of been reflecting quite a bit on, my patience. Because for most of my life, very thin, for suitable reasons, but it's no longer necessary.
The 3 days I stay in ICU. I learn to be patient. Be patient.
Yeah.
Because I'm was patient. So I have to wait for the doctor, the nurse, and so forth. I recognize that's why I don't know how they come up to that word. Or in English, but in Vietnamese, it's different. It's not the patient, but it's the ring. Nhẫn, the ring. The ring for the husband, the wife. I don't know whether when you have the wedding ceremony, I explained briefly, right? Nhẫn is the ring. When you wear that ring, it symbolizes that you have to be patient with your spouse. No, yeah. The one that sleep closest to you.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's the meaning there. Anyway, so I learned the lesson. I learned the word patient because I was patient. That's understand. But here, ideally, in the Diamond Sutra, it's tell the story. I don't know whether you know that story.
Which part?
That the king chop up.
Tell
them.
Yeah.
Tell them the story.
In one of Shakyamuni Buddha's past lives, there was a king who falsely accused him of something, and he couldn't do anything about it. So, like the Buddha, well, the past life Buddha, the Bodhisattva, couldn't do anything about it. And so, yeah, the evil king, was cutting him, to punish him, just cut him into pieces. And what Buddha is telling in the sutra is he's like, whenever the king was cutting me into pieces, I didn't have any feelings of hatred or anger or pain or any of that, because I was separated. I didn't hold on to the notion that I had a self or that the king had a self. He was like, if I still thought about the world in terms of a self, then I would have been upset about what was happening to myself, and I would have been angry at the king's self. But since I'm past the idea of self, I was fine with it. I was able to endure.
So the story is, when the Buddha passed life, so he was a cultivator who practiced meditation in the forest. So the king took his revenue. That's his officer, including the queen, the concubine, and so forth, for hunting in that forest. Somehow they got lost. So the queens and her concubines somehow went astray and saw these cultivators, the one that sat in doing meditation, and so somehow, because of their curiosity, so when they went up and asked him about the Dharma, so he spoke about patience, the virtue of the patient, to them. So for the king, he ran around to hunt, but somehow his queen and other ladies, court lady, lost track. So somehow, eventually, he found them out that they sat around that cultivators to listen to his teaching. So the king was so angry that he approached to this cultivator and say, "Hey, you tempt my queen, you tempt my court ladies." He accused him all kind of things, and the king asked him, "What you talking about here to my people, to my queen, to my court ladies?" And so this cultivator say, "Well, I teach them patience, the virtue of patience." So the king say, "Well, I don't trust you." So he took out his sword and chopped off one hand. And the king asked, "Do you have any anger toward me because I chopped off your hand?" So this guy says, "No, I don't have any anger toward you." So the king said, "No, I don't believe you." He chopped off another hand. It's beyond our human thinking, right? And I can ask again. He said, "No, I don't have any anger to you." He chopped off the leg, and the last one he chopped off the another leg too. That means the 4 limbs he chopped off. So again, at that moment, the king asked, "Do you still have anger toward me because I chop up your limbs?" They say no. So if he made the vows, if I tell lie that I have anger, but I tell you that I don't, yeah, I'll be losing my limb forever. If I tell the truth, please, the limbs come back to me. So because of his brave vow, so they come back to him to become a person again. So he tell that story in that Dhamma Sutra. It illustrate that because he didn't, like you mentioned, he didn't attach to his physical body. That's why no anger toward whoever harmed him. Ideally, right? It's just no way for us. If someone scores, if someone yelled at us, we should be angry, not talking about the hand or the leg. That's what we call the perfection of patience. No limit for patience, unlimited patience, no matter what happens. But for us, we have a limit. All right. And Stephen, you follow the story, right? It's
Yes,
just
Mofak, I do.
an incredible story. That's why he become Buddha quicker than us. Yeah, that's one of the unlimited patience that he had practiced in the past. Yeah, but of course we practice bit by bit with our spouse, with our friends, with our children, right? And one more time, yeah, like some of you say that as much we understand others, much easier for us to be patient with them. For example, right, the baby boy, the boy, they run around. We understand they're still young. They don't want to. They don't know. They cannot control their mind and body. That's understandable. But yeah, the adult, the mature people cannot do that. Yeah, so because they are immature, that's okay. As much we understand that, it's easy for us to be patient with our student, and as much we understand why our spouse behave in this way and behave in another way and so forth. If we understand, it's much easier for us to be patient with them, to work with them. Otherwise, it's not easy. And on the top of that, in Buddhist view, like that story, if we don't attach anything about ourselves, no matter what people say, no matter what thing happen, we just accept that. So much easy, much easy for ourselves also. Like for me, I have to be patient. In the time I got accident, I can accept that my karma. I have to pay for that. Nothing we can do. If we be angry, we suffer mentally, right? So choice. We have a choice. One to accept and to be at peace with that, or to fight with that. Is more we make more suffering for ourselves.
Right.
No need. No need unless it's something that we can control. Yeah, like the children, and we can control them. Hey, sit down and so forth. To teach them. Anyway, so that's one of the example of the unlimited patience. Yeah, we spend bit by bit, but sometimes it's not easy. Like the children, right? They test you out to see how much strength of your patient you can handle.
I think our karma and like the Mara will test us too, like in general, like whenever we have like problems like of any kind that we have to be patient with. Like sometimes if I start to get upset, I try to catch myself and be like a moment to like learn from this and get better instead of getting upset. Like just earlier today, I was trying to buy Christmas present for my parents, and like the website wasn't working. I started to get mad at the website, and I was like, no reason to get mad at a website. It's not even alive. I just need to calm down and I'll figure it out.
Yeah, there's no need. So just do the kind of practice, and it's so useful, right? For the student, right? When they little, right? The elementary level, they get small tests. Middle school, they take the hardest test. High school, college, and even if they want to go to medical school, they take MCATs. They clear top. Some of them they skip school for a year to focus on study MCAT, to pursue their medical degree. So this is so practical. Yeah, as much we build that strength is much beneficial for us and for others. And that's one example. You understand now, right? Yeah. Yeah, so we can remember whenever we say, "Oh, my patient is limited," we can, okay, my patient is spending. Right? Okay, that's one example. Okay, yeah, Miss Teresa, you like anything, any comment about that? What do you think? Have you
I
read
agree.
Diamond Sutra before?
No, I have not, but I'm going to now.
Okay, it's very interesting. How about Nathan? Have you read the Diamond Sutra before? Nathan?
Yes.
Oh, you read that part?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. At first when you came across that story, what do you think?
It's complicated.
It's impractical, right? It's not easy for us to practice like him, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Let us move on then. Yeah, so you understand, right? The patient, morality, vigor, and so forth. It is similar in a similar approach. And the list is spent to 10, what was 10 stages of enlightenment. So the Bodhisattva had to go through those type of stages. Let me type for you this type of stages. It's information for you. Let me type it for you. Yeah, we call 10 bumi. See here. Okay. Yeah. 10 levels of Bodhisattva or 10 bhumis here. The path of accumulation of equipment is the path of training and so forth here. This there. 10 bhumis right here. The choice. Have you read this one before? It's the first time.
I don't think I've read this particular one.
The 10 bhumis, yeah. Bhumis is the stages. The stainless one, the light makers one, the radiance one, the Veda conquer and so forth. So those steps, yeah, they need to go through. And in the Flower of the Moon Sutra, it talk about 52 state of Bodhisattva. 52 stages that you need to go through before you become Buddha. It just give you the brief information about them. Okay, so go ahead, Sam. You can read the next one. The Mahayana.
The Mahayana produced a number of distinctive philosophical doctrines, notably the concept of emptiness. Another striking feature was new conception of the Buddha as having three forms or bodies.
Okay, you can stop there. So can you explain the concept of emptiness one more time?
Yeah, it's like shunyata. It's like it's not easy to explain actually, but like a big part of it is like how nothing has like an independent self. Like, you can't just have like any one object without having basically everything else, like one way that Thich Nhat Hanh explained it is he was like, to have a flower, you also have to have, water and clouds and dirt and like all this other stuff. Like, or like, for like a speck of dust to exist, the universe has to exist, and there's like, it goes back to like the no self idea, how like, everything is, like the dependent origination, like everything exists in relation to everything else. Like at the core of Buddhist philosophy, that kind of separates it from Western philosophy is that there's not objects, there's just like a bunch of actions going on, like causation, like the karma, like everything is like basically just like patterns of karma playing out in like an interconnected way. It's like one way to explain it, but it's like such a big topic, it would take a long time.
Yeah, we talked about that before, right? And like we call the mouse, the computer, anything, we get the conventional way for us to call them. That's not real one, because if we take them apart, nothing that we can call this computer. If there's no keyboard, there's no motherboard, and so forth. This just a piece of metal or plastic, because things connect together. That's what we call conventionally the computer. So do our body, right? So so that's why that's what they call emptiness. And this is no real sense of self. Yeah, that's what it means by emptiness. Not emptiness doesn't mean nothingness. There's no real sense of self in anything else. Everything connect together. In a sense, we connect each other. Without you, I cannot talk by myself, right? Yeah, we come together to learn. And without computer, without internet, we cannot have friends here, right? So that's what is the emptiness is about. No real sense of self. Yeah. Okay. So next one. So Miss Teresa, you follow, right?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, the next one I think we talked before, the three body, right? The kaya, right? Three kaya. The first one is the Dhammakaya, the Dhamma body, right? Ultimate reality or pure self, right? We talk about that. The second one is the enjoyment body. That's the divine Buddha. This like Amitabha Buddha, he replaced that kind of Western Pure Land there. The third is transformation body. That means any Buddha can transform themselves in any form of life, which is order. That would call the three higher doctrine, the three bodies. Okay. So Miss Teresa, you follow this one before? You learned this before?
No, I've never heard of the three bodies.
No. Nathan, you follow, right?
Yes.
And Stephen, we talked about this before, right?
Yes, briefly, yes.
Yeah, okay. So let's move on then. Yes, please, Miss Christie.
In my faith, in the power, missions, and eternal spiritual assistance of the Buddha assumed a new sense of importance, and Buddha now took on a decidedly more devotional form. Such Mahayana scriptures as the Lotus Sutra, the Pure Land Sutras, the Garland Sutra, and so on describe a Buddha of cosmic stature. There remain, however, several cosmic Buddhas. Shakyamuni, Amitabha,
Yeah.
Parachana, Vajradhara, Ashoka, Bhavya, and more. And their accomplishments were beyond imagination.
Okay, stop. Yeah. So yeah.
As Buddhism moved east, there not much of the there was very little literacy at the time, so they started developing these practices that were more simplified, that were easier to teach the masses, because like at that time, really you would have had to practice all sort of austerities and understand the new treatises and all that, and which of course was way too much for trying to transform the entire community. So that these sutras like skillful means of like, there's different ways to enlighten people. And then of course, like the Pure Land Sutras they made it very simple that you can take the virtue and all these qualities and the merits of this Buddha, the cosmic Buddha on the Kaaba, and just in practicing reciting his name, you can create all this merit, whatever. And then two, that as you get ready to die, you know, that there's almost a savior-like quality where he will guide you to the next pure land where it's easy to attain.
Where it says convictions, is that a Pure Land thing?
Mahayana has the Buddha is has a lot more like godlike qualities. Like if you talk to a Theravada Buddhist monk, they're like, he was a human, he was a teacher, he is long gone, he is not gonna help you.
Yeah, that's where I definitely disagree with them. Like I remember, I haven't been there in a while, but I remember one time when I was at like the Theravada temple, and like the monk there was saying, he was like, yeah, I mean, we honor the Buddha, but we believe that, you know, his teaching is still here, but he's gone, and he doesn't directly do anything anymore. And I'm like, I respect their viewpoints. I didn't argue with him in his own temple, but in my own temple, I was like, well, that's assuming that there is a here and a there. You know, what if no here and there is no there? Like for the Buddha to be gone, to have been here and then be gone, it assumes that there's like a true difference between being here and being gone versus like a conventional understanding difference. Like if you really attain like the ultimate state, like you're beyond being here and being gone, so you can be both at the same time. Like it's kind of mind-bending, but I think it actually makes more sense than to think that he was here and he's gone, because like for them, like nirvana is like just being gone, but I'm like, I think nirvana is like an omniscient state, because it's like being beyond all like material qualities, including being here or being gone. It's like both and neither. It's like you're like just like completely outside of this like normal category.
I get what you're saying. I think you know, it's according to perspective. You know, in Buddha's time, church was there. That was the present moment.
Yeah.
This is the present.
Yeah.
He's not here.
I think
Well,
he is and he isn't.
Yeah.
That's why I said it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, if he's not here, what are we talking
Yeah.
about?
yeah, Nathan, he just he just put on the chat here. You see that? Can you see? This is in one of the sutra. You see that? Yeah.
Yeah. So like when people say that the Buddha was a human being, I'm like, well, Siddhartha was, but to be a Buddha is to be like a whole other thing besides being a god or a human. And like in like the Buddhist cosmology, including even Theravada cosmology, although they look at it different, but like in general in the Theravada cosmology, like the Buddha in nirvana is like, you know, beyond samsara. So like you can be in samsara, but you're not only in samsara, you're like also in nirvana, which is like incomprehensible to us. Like when it goes like when they were talking about like the three bodies, like the Trikaya, like the Nirmanakaya is like the Buddha's like physical form, and the Sambhogakaya is like his like kind of like a godlike form, but then like the Dhammakaya is like the ultimate form. It's something that unenlightened people like can't even really understand, which is why like
It's like the emanation body.
yeah, it's like
Transformation body.
we've got like the doctrine of like, you know, there's like the conventional truth and there's like the transcendent truth, and you can kind of work with both, like whatever you're comfortable with or whatever like makes more sense at the time. But there's like like a normal truth that we have to use like in the day-to-day life, like, like Ty was saying, like the computer, we call it a computer, but it's actually a bunch of little parts, like you could, if you really drill into anything, you can go on forever. So you just kind of take a shortcut by using like a conventional way of thinking, but there's like a beyond way of thinking about Buddhism, definitely, just like anything.
So here what you call the supreme superhuman power that Arhat, Buddha attacked. Divine feet has been travel free everywhere whenever they want to, instantly. Divine eyes, they can see through everything. Divine ear, they can hear anything, and even the sound, the ant and so forth. The wisdom to see the mind, to see into the mind, or that means read audible mind. Knowledge of past life, they know have past life. Complete extinction of the affliction. There's no more affliction for them. Anyway, so these are what is the superhuman power that the Buddha and any art can have. But it go beyond. You go beyond what we call godlike power. Yeah. So of course, for our human beings, is beyond our thinking. Yeah. But if our mind is so pure, we can handle things. I remember when I was little in Vietnam before 1975, before the Vietnam War end. So remember that we live in the you can say the subdivision, but the house in Vietnam is just back to back and wall to wall. But somehow in that subdivision there was a fire, not in our house, but the nearby house was caught the fire. It spread everywhere because they would walk back to back, like like the what do you call the place, right? The place townhouse. But it will not build like a townhouse. So what happened then? At that time, it was so little. I think about 3 or 4 years old. So, and in our house, we have a big bench. Much, it's just, they like the bench you lie down there. My mom, she carried out by herself. At that moment, that's just so dangerous, right? She carried out by herself. But after they extinguished the fire, she could not bring it back because it's so heavy. Why? When our mind is so concentrated, right? We can handle things.
Adrenaline.
Yeah. So that's what it's about, the mind. If we really concentrate on mind, we could accomplish a lot. That's why for those Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and Arhat, their mind so pure, they can move things. Of course, these are the things that we learn from the books, but that's what happened.
Overcoming the limitation.
When we really focus on things that we're doing, without these and trace of hesitation and so forth. And we watch some movie or video clips on the YouTube, right? Some of them, they jump out to help people on the spot without any hesitation. And another one I want to show you here too, and what they call the 10 force of a Buddha omniscient mind. This is the first time ever you read, right? The force of being omnisciently aware of the appropriate and inappropriate relation between the various type of impulse karmic behavior and the result. And so include this here is knowing what is correct and incorrect, and what can and cannot be achieved. So he know what's right and wrong, what can and cannot be achieved, so that he can teach. So those are the power he has in Mahayana Buddhist view, not in the Theravada, like I mentioned. Even like Nathan just type on that sutra, right? He's not human. This is not. Yes.
What was that page you were just on, Ty? I was gonna look it up to read later.
Which one?
The one you were just on a second ago.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You mean that this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, the 10 force of a Buddha mission. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think, Nathan, about the things that you just paused on the chat?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
I mean that yeah, you find out right in this sutra, right, on the chat. No, just then can you explain the chat that you just type on?
Sorry, I'm having trouble hearing.
Can you explain the chat, the thing that you put on the chat? Can you explain them?
Oh, I was just sharing that there's like several sutras in the Pali Canon where the Buddha kind of suggests, you know, well, he literally is asked if he's a human, and then he says no. And then I also shared the unanswerable questions where the Buddha was asked whether or not the Buddha does not exist after death, does exist after death. You know, the four qualities, and then he says that he's not going to answer that because it doesn't have anything to do with the path. So like from the start, the Buddha told us not to worry about like the state of his being after this, not to worry about what he was during life, but also not to worry about what would happen to him after death, because they're not conducive to our practice.
All right, just move on then. Thank you, Nathan. Yeah, Ethan, can you read this? This compare.
This compared with the early tradition in which the Buddha was a compassionate teacher, revered for having destroyed all the anxieties and suffering within himself, thereby reaching the end of his participation in the cycle of rebirth. But herein lies the basic paradox of Mahayana thought. On the one hand, the concept of Buddha has been brought closer to the devotee with the promise that everyone can attain this goal. On the other hand, Buddhas are described in such expansively cosmic terms beyond the experience and imagination of other people that the concept of Buddha is almost impossible to grasp, thus magnifying the divine between Buddha and humankind.
Okay.
In like even in talking about the marks of understanding past and stuff, this idea that as you progress, not just to Buddhahood or Bodhisattva, but through Arhat, the ability to gain understanding of self and patience and everything, Buddhism shows a way to there, unlike other things I've seen, versus the separation of divinity and
yeah, so that's the one. Yeah. And Stephen, can you read this one, please? The period of the final law, please.
Period of the final law. History is not a drama in Buddhism in the sense that it has a definite beginning, a purposeful development, and a climatic denouement. Even in Buddhist cosmology, beginnings and endings are relative as opposed to absolute. It is true that there was a strong Mahayana belief in East Asia that the world was inevitably headed toward a period of dark decline called the period of final law, known as Mofa in Chinese and Mapo in Japanese, because too much time had elapsed since the death of the Buddha and fewer people understood his teachings.
You can stop there. Yeah, you can stop now, please. Yeah. You understand? You can
conclusion.
The end, the final, the ending. Yeah. Yeah. Can you have this? You can you have this?
Oh. It's I mean, it's kind of like what Sam was talking about, that there really is, like, when to really start understanding a lot of it, there's a lot of these bigger realm, so they do come up with these stories that have conclusions, so you can relate them to these.
Yeah, well, it's also like the cultural cycles, like, I actually, like, I have a friend who lives in like Sikkim. It's like, used to be part of Tibet, but now it's part of India. It's history. Anyway, she's Vajrayana Buddha, and they call it, you know, the degenerate age, translate in English. I've also heard it like called the age of dissolving or whatever. But it's like kind of similar to, like, I heard you guys like the yugas in Hinduism, how like their kalpas, there's like, just like with anything that's like alive or exists, there's like a beginning, a kind of growth period, a kind of mental period, and then like a death period, and then like an empty period, and it starts all over. But in Buddhism, it's like the period between like a Buddha being born on a world and then teaching the Dharma, and then like eventually like it grows, and then eventually it starts to fade away, but then like the next Buddha comes. Like in our world it's Maitreya, but it's happened like countless times and countless kalpas and countless worlds and stuff.
Yeah.
In cycle, in that circle, how does Buddhism balance that idea of it's been so long and now no one understands? How do you bring people along to understand, so there's not a forgetting of this learning?
That's what we have what we call the sutra, the Buddhist scripture.
Okay.
That we can base on, to not to prove but to recognize these are the authentic teachings of Buddha. Of course, like we can, everyone of us, right, can explain any sutra, any Buddhist scripture in our views in different ways. But there's some in Buddhist approach, we have what they call some guideline. Like no matter what you say, if the teaching is not geared toward liberation or to bring the happiness and peacefulness for ourselves, that's not the Buddha teaching. Right, Thomas? Let's put it this way. Let's say we encourage each other to do meditation. For what? For the reduce stress, so that we can bring the happiness for ourselves mentally, right? Otherwise, this is no use. So that's why when we talk about the Buddha scripture, it's based on, okay, here's the Buddha teaching that talk about meditation. We follow that, and we, as much we put in practice, we can have that type of distress in ourselves, or to reduce the stress for ourselves. So that's what they call attentive. So if say, okay, pray to Buddha, you win lottery, for example, it's not the case. No, that's not the case. It is the opposite. Is opposed to the Buddha teaching, to release the attachment instead of to attach to the material life. That's what we call the attentive. You read the last one, please.
I think,
yes.
Depending on the sutra, propounding such views, calculations were made when the final period was began, usually either in the 6th or 11th century. This final period would last up to 10,000 years, and all sorts of dire consequences described, such as increases in corruption, and even a shortening of At the end of this age was an unambiguously marked by the advent of a new Maitreya, who was usher in a new era of
You understand now?
Yeah.
So in some Buddhist commentary, especially the Buddhist commentary, so they say that the first 1,000 years, let's put it this way. During the Buddha time, that we call the proper Dharma age, because he teach the Dharma, he teach proper Dharma. So 1,000 of that is still the age of the proper Dharma, and the next 1,000 years is called the similar proper Dharma. That's the second. The next 1,000 years, and after that, 10,000 years after that, it's called the Dharma ending age. That's what it's talking about here. And after that, according to my Buddhist teaching, that my trade Buddhists will be appear to become Buddhist. If there's no one know about Buddhism, there's no teaching of Buddha teaching. There's no teaching of Buddhism at all. So it will reappear again. So that's what it's talk about here.
Yeah, he put off his complete enlightenment or something. Or yeah, his vow. I just saw a really beautiful illustrated like about him of his previous, like the way he all this it's very similar to.
Yeah. I know time is past. You like to read the last one? This one here, the word is bright here.
The world described in Mahayana teaching is not that there is literally much of this literature presents an idealized consciousness of the living from the journey into which the faithful may be born to pursue certain civilization. And these paradisiac drums conditions perfect. The Buddha is present to guide the devotee and progress to complete life or vice versa.
That's what you're going to talk this Sunday, right? Yeah, Amitabha Buddha, right? You come listen. Yeah, that's why it's so important in Maharaj Buddhist Sutra. And that ideally, right, there's some perfect good there, some pure land there, instead of having all kind of problem in our daily life. Yeah, when you read the news, you watch the movie, and so all kind of problem there. It's pure rare. It's pure rare to have some movie that talk about the happiness, the peacefulness, the whole thing. It's pure rare, right? I don't know. Have you seen that kind of movie before? From beginning to the end, always happiness.
No conflict. Yeah.
No conflict.
Super
No. It's bad. I think you can find it.
Not many, but I've seen a few. I like.
You seen the film?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I feel like My Neighbor Totoro is like that. Oh well, there is a short conflict. There is a short conflict, but it's not serious.
Yeah, I mean, there for any story to progress, there has to be some sort of like ethical dilemma.
Yeah.
Some sort of it doesn't necessarily need to be violent, but there does need to have a challenging circumstance.
With Teresa, have you seen that type of movie before? The movie that from the end there's no suffering, all happiness from beginning to the end.
No, there has to be some kind of conflict. Man versus man, man versus himself, or man versus nature. There's always some conflict.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Usually.
You say that's a movie or just short?
Well, the one I thought about, they reminded me, it actually does have a conflict. There's like, it's about like two little girls who move out to the country and they meet like magical creatures. It's just a fun, nice movie, but the mom gets sick. She gets better, but she is sick, and like the little girl freaks out about it. So there is a conflict, but it gets better.
Sure. Nathan, you have any movie that from beginning to the end is all happiness?
Usually kids movies, right?
Yeah, any movie before? Have you seen before?
Nothing's jumping to mind.
No conflict.
What was that like real famous movie? It was called Sleep. Like around that, or maybe yeah.
It's like 20 hours long of just people sleeping.
Yeah.
That's all?
Yeah, I think it's really a pretty famous piece.
Sleeping?
I think it's called Sleep or Insomnia or something like that. I don't know. It was one of those famous like art disruptors in the 20th century, whatever.
And Stephen, have you watched that before? Any movie that from beginning to the end is all happiness? There's no way, right?
No movie. There's always some sort of conflict, something's going on. So, but yeah, no.
Okay, so thank you. So see you then. See you either this Sunday or next one. Okay, thank you. Okay, see you, Miss Teresa. Thank
No,
you.
Dr.
Thank you so
Night,
much.
everyone.